Hi, and welcome to our December 2025 energy update. My name is Corey Davidson, and I'm here with my dear girlfriends, Peyton, who will be channeling the Pleiades, and Yaila, who will be giving us the collective energy report. And I'll be doing some intuitive astrology. If you've never seen our videos before, that's what we will be doing. And I hope you enjoy it. And let's start with Peyton. What have the Pleiades got to say?
Thank you so much, Corey. It's always lovely to get together with you guys. So, as we're looking at the December energies, the Pleiadians said that we're going to notice some real changes in the energy. And the first thing they wanted us to understand is they said that we're going to be stepping into new energies. So when I asked them kind of what that meant, what they were talking about, they said that life as we are accustomed to, that good old 3D life that we have been in for so long, is going to start to fade like a memory. And this is something that they have been talking about for 2 or 3 months now. They've been saying that 3D is just a memory for humans. But of course, it's a really, really strong one. So we feel like we're still there. But according to the Pleiadians, what we know as that very heavy 3D life is going to start to fade away from us. It's going to get very distant. So the way this may show up for us is we may notice that all of that drama in the world around us, whether it's news stories, the doom and gloom, it's just going to start to fade away. Anyone who brings a lot of drama and kind of negativity into your life is going to just kind of fade into the background. So what we're seeing in the December energies is we're kind of seeing the results of our timeline. And as we know, our timelines have been splitting for the past 5 years or so. So we're getting closer and closer to our soul's plan. So we're starting to actually see that materializing around us. So when we look at the energies that are going to be moving in, the December energies, the P's were noticing one thing that they're seeing in particular in a lot of light workers and starseeds. And that is that so many people right now are feeling a little alone, a little isolated, a little disconnected. And so the P's wanted to talk a little bit about what the energy is that's behind this, because it's not exactly what it appears to be. So according to the P's, for a lot of people who are feeling that right now, that loneliness, like you can't connect, like all your friendships are kind of breaking down. According to the P's, what's happening for a lot of people is a lot of light workers and starseeds have really done a lot of spiritual work on themselves over the past 3 or 4 years. And what that means is they've expanded their consciousness very quickly. But a side effect of that is you tend to move out in front of the crowd when you're working very hard on yourself. And so the ego mind can kind of translate this as nobody wanting to be with us. We can't find our tribe. We feel isolated and alone. But really, according to the Pleiadians, what is happening for so many people that have really been doing their spiritual work is you've just moved out in front of everyone. And of course, they're never talking about this from the perspective of ego to say anyone is better than anyone else. But when you do a lot of work on your frequency, other people are trying to catch up with you. And so the way our mind can translate this for a lot of us is put a negative spin on it. So the P's just wanted to reassure you, if you're one of the many who is noticing that right now, that it may not be as bad as your mind is telling you it is. Instead, it may just be you've gotten a little ahead of people and everyone's just trying to catch up with you. So that is something we're going to see a lot of in the December energies. Now, when we look at the December energies and how they're going to feel, the P said that these energies are going to feel a little differently than what we're used to. So these energies may feel very hot in the body. So even if you're someone like me who feels cold all the time, you may notice that these energies actually are making your body feel very hot. These energies are also going to highlight the body a couple of different ways. So we're going to see a lot of body purging and clearing in these energies. So you may notice that you're feeling very pulled to clean up your diet, to start a cleanse or a detox, or as the ladies and I were just talking about, work on some of those issues that aren't feeling so good in your body, because these energies are going to highlight anything in our physical body that's not quite in balance. So it's going to get a little squeaky in the body for anything that is not in alignment, not running smoothly. So especially these energies are going to be targeting our nervous system. So we may also notice tingling sensations, zapping sensations, feeling like you're amped up, like you've had too much coffee is very common in these energies. They're going to be targeting our bodies. So we're going to notice that we're kind of pulled to do body work in December, cleaning up the body. Now, something that is going to go along in the December energies with our attention on our body is the P's are encouraging us very strongly, because the energies, they are cranking. They are moving so quickly right now. They are encouraging us very strongly to go within. This is going to be a month where we want to let our intuition lead us, because the mind is going to try to translate all these intense planetary and solar energies, but the mind is a 3D structure. It can't make sense of these new energies. So if we're in the mind, if we're in the ego a lot, chances are good we're going to be spinning out in negative stories. These energies can make the mind a little panicky. So staying in the heart is going to be your best friend in the December energies. It's going to help you navigate them. Now, something else the P's are strongly encouraging us to do in the December energies is to bring more light into our bodies. So, can you get out in the sunlight? The sunlight is very supportive of us in these energies. Another thing you can do if you're living somewhere that's not getting a lot of sunlight right now is you can just do meditations to bring more light into your body. Because the more we can bring light into our body, that light disconnects us from the 3D grid. So the more we can focus on holding light in our physical bodies, the more, first of all, we're going to make the body feel better. But second of all, we're going to start to disconnect ourselves more and more from any of that remaining 3D drama. So bringing light into our bodies is going to be very, very supported in the December energies. And then the last thing that the P's wanted to encourage us is to really have us focusing on our discernment in December. And you have heard me and the ladies talking about this for years now, the importance of discernment, and the need for it gets stronger every month. We have to be very careful with the sources of information that we are trusting. And we are going to see a lot of interesting things playing out in December. And we want to make sure we're listening with our intuition to any sources of information so that we don't get sucked into ego mind rabbit holes. So there's going to be a lot of temptation around that in December. So just going within, trusting our intuition is going to be the best way for us to navigate these energies. So December should be a very interesting month energetically. And Yaila, what are you seeing in the collective energies?
Thank you, Peyton. Thank you, Corey. Thank you all for joining us. And before I forget, it's Peyton's birthday this month in December. So if you want to wish her a happy birthday early. My name is Yaila. I'm an intuitive teacher and guide, and I will be doing the collective energy reading for this month. I do have my eyes closed from time to time, so let me just tap into your energy and we'll jump in. Okay, and I always like to ask for blessing for you tuning in. Creator of all that is, it's commanded and requested to please bring forth the information and any healing for your highest and best good. Please guide me with clarity and accuracy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The first words I heard were just, what a month. And I don't know if they're referring to November or December. And now I'm hearing both. So it sounds like, we're really dancing in some fun energies from last month and this month. Fun meaning really putting our spiritual tools to the test. And so let me just get a color for the collective aura. I'm actually getting a green for December. So when I ask what is the green representing for you, the collective, it's really about focusing on bringing yourself to your heart chakra. So the heart chakra really is I love how Peyton brought up discernment. So you're going to feel in your body what's meant for you, what's not, and you're going to decipher that through your heart chakra. But it's also letting you know those places to say yes and no to for yourself. So you're going to be bouncing up against the different energies throughout the month, and your heart chakra is really going to help you navigate that. So I always like to ask, what is helpful to know for the month? So what's helpful to know for the month of December 2025? I'm hearing you're going to blink and it's going to be done. It's going to be gone, actually, is the word that I heard. So things are moving really, really fast. And remember that if there's anything trying or hard that you are navigating through, just remember you're going to blink and it's going to be done. You're going to blink and it's going to be gone. And so what is the information? What is the lesson? What is the boundary? What is the clarification that you need for those things popping up? Because once it's done, if you weren't paying attention, you might have to repeat the lesson, is what I'm hearing. So you're going to blink and it's done, but make sure while you're going through it, you're still staying grounded and present. And that's probably why they brought up the heart chakra, because you want to take the lesson now so you don't have to repeat it for yourself in the future. What to look out for is the next question I always like to ask. So what to look out for the month of December? I'm literally seeing an image of a person like trying to rip their hair out, just like stressed and like pulling their hair. Because with these really fast energies, if you are not grounded in your own space, you're going to be on your wits' end. So watch out for getting pulled into other people's swirl, not paying attention to the lessons, so they keep repeating over and over and over again. So you really want to be mindful and grounded this month in the energies, because they can definitely pull the rug underneath you, is what I'm hearing. They can definitely get you swirly. And it could just be a lot on your plate. It doesn't all have to be doom and gloom and bad, but just know you want to do a lot of self-care, because I am seeing that image of like literally someone just like ripping their hair out, like, so watch out for those energies popping up for this month. The last thing I like to ask is anything else that's helpful for you to know. So what is helpful? What else is helpful? Any last messages for you, the collective, for December? I'm hearing go at your pace. So even if other people, places, and things are moving fast, are pushing you into that swirly energy, go at your pace. Make sure it's a true yes for yourself. Follow that. If it's not, I love that saying, if it's not a hell yeah, it's a no. So or just no for right now. That's been my mantra lately. If it's not a hell yeah, it's a no, at least for right now. And whatever's coming to the surface for you, there is, the little bit that I dabble in astrology, there's, I think 6 planets retrograde right now. There's just a lot of information that we're going in internalizing with. And so your next steps are really, you want to make sure you're taking the right next step for you. So go at your pace. If someone's trying to push you into a yes, but you don't have that hell yeah for yourself, it's okay to slow down and pause and wait for a later date to say yes on that. So those are the messages I have for you, the collective. Wishing you a very happy holiday season. And Miss Corey, what do we have in the astrology?
Well, ladies, I always love hearing what you have to say in the piece. Just love it. So, December 2025. Well, it's going to be quite the month. But the astrology really does coincide with what the ladies said. And by December, we will have 4 planets retrograde still. So it is a reflective time. So the first half of December is Sagittarius season for our Peyton. Yay! And that's fire. That's the element of fire. That's travel and adventure and higher learning and being playful. And Sag is also optimistic. So it'll be so nice to have this Sagittarius energy for the first half of December, because it's been pretty intense. It's been really intense. So a little bit of Sag always helps lighten things up a bit. So that'll be really nice. And then the second half of December will be Capricorn season. And that's authority, tradition, the holidays, right? Responsibility, long-term goals, top-down structures. So it's and it's earth sign. So chop wood, carry water. That's how I always think of Capricorn. And so on the 4th of December, we have a full moon in Gemini. And it's a super moon. Well, right now we're in Mercury retrograde as we're filming this, so the mouth isn't working quite as well. But we have a full super moon in Gemini on December 4th. And Gemini rules communication, facts, the twins, right? So this full super moon is really good for communicating. Any way that you communicate that isn't working, you can just throw it away with the full moon. And because also Gemini rules facts, because Gemini loves to research. They're the researchers. They're the teachers. They love knowledge. And so what you thought was fact may no longer be true for you. So it's a good time for things that you always thought were facts, and you found truth that it wasn't really the truth for you. It's a good time to let it go. Letting it go is a good thing for December. On the 10th, we have Neptune is going to go direct in Pisces. And Neptune rules Pisces. We still have a lot of Pisces energy in December. And so that Pisces energy, remember, is either, escapism or delusions or denial, or it can be the mystic, a really high spiritual practice person, meditation. That's Pisces. So when Neptune goes direct on December 10th in Pisces, we're back to reality. We're going to have some big reality checks in December. So if you can accept the truth of what is going on in the world, or even within yourself or others, all will be well. We do have big changes, like the Pleiadians said. We do have big changes in energy in December. And then on the 11th, we have Mercury, the mind, enter Sagittarius. Yay! And I natally have Mercury in Sag. Those are truth bombs, Sag, that we love Sag, but they drop those truth bombs. And hopefully it's not the open mouth insert foot type of truth bombs. However, make sure that when you're speaking the truth, do it with love. Because Mercury, the mind, in Sagittarius, thinks of higher learning, higher forms of communication, higher forms of thinking. But it's a fire sign, so it can be very quick. So that pause button always helps. when we have Mercury in Sag. On the 14th, we have Mars, the output energy, enters Capricorn, Earth sign. So, change. Accept plans for change. Resistance to change will only kick your hiney. You're going to have a lot of change. And that change is, if we just go with the flow, with all the Pisces energy, we've already looked at our boundaries, what's acceptable, upped our boundaries. Discernment is also, if the higher end of Pisces is that discernment. So when the changes come, if you just flow with it and not have resistance, it will be good. On December 19th, we have a new moon in Sag. So Sag rules, as I said, all the things I said in the beginning, but travel and higher learning. And it is, we have the planet Jupiter that rules Sag in the sign of Cancer, which affects this new moon. So we will want to travel, be interested in that higher learning, being playful. It's going to be a bit emotional with Jupiter in Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. We also have a grand water trine. So it will be an emotional month. And then on the 21st, the sun enters Capricorn, which is also the winter solstice. So it's going to help you build something that's long lasting. Like the chop wood, carry water. If you have plans with all the retrograde planets that we've had, which is like review, redo, rewind. If you've been looking at building a new business or making plans for something new, Capricorn helps you to execute these things because Capricorn is a doer. They're a doer. It's the goat climbing the mountain. Whether, anybody else wants to come or not, they're just that goat climbing. And then on the 24th of December, Venus will enter Capricorn. So this is the love of working really hard and getting things done. But also, too, Capricorn can be the pessimist. It can be very sarcastic. So, but working hard at really keeping things light. Carrying on that Sagittarius energy from the beginning of December, we are going to have big changes in December. And we've been going through a lot of changes. And we've been talking about it for about 5 years. And now is a culmination of a lot of those changes that we've been talking about. So go with the flow. Don't take yourself too seriously. Have fun in December. We're going to have a lot of change, but it's good change if you choose the good change. So remember to stay in the love. What is the loving thing to do? What is the loving thing to say for all concerned? And everything will be fine. So that's what I've got for December. Be good to yourselves, everyone. Ladies, have you got anything to add? No? All right. Well, thank you very much for watching our energy update. We are here every month. Please like, share, subscribe to all of our videos. We'll have all the information to all of our channels down below. And 2025 was a fast year, and 2026 will be better. So we hope to see you next year. And until then, bye for now.